Okay, in this short video, we're going to talk about everything you need to know, or most of what you need to know about arthritis. So a couple quick questions. Do you know what causes arthritis? Do you know how to prevent it or reduce it if you have it? And or would you like to know? We've found that when we ask people, they don't know. And my opinion is if you don't know, you're probably going to get it. So our goal with all of our patients in the last 2 weeks have been how to turn the no's to a yes. What causes it? What's the main cause? What can you do to prevent it? What can you do to reduce it? So most people end up getting arthritis simply because they don't know what's causing it or how to prevent it. Let's talk about the most common answers, which are the incorrect answers. It's rarely ever genetic. We got to stop blaming our problems on it being so common in our family. That is extremely rare. It's also not just because people get old, because there are elderly people who don't have any arthritis, and there are plenty of young people that do. So that negates those two most common answers off the table. It is connected to diet in some way. Almost everything is. But the number one cause of arthritis is abnormal stress in a joint over time. So, like a cavity in a tooth, abnormal bacteria in a tooth over time causes a cavity in different levels of a cavity, like root canals and much more painful, more expensive things. Abnormal stress in a joint, whether it be the spine, which I see all day long in all kinds of people, all ages as a chiropractor, or your knee, or your shoulder, or your fingers. The rules all apply basically the same. Abnormal stress in the joint over time causes different levels of arthritic problems over time. And the two main contributors to abnormal stress in a joint is really not that hard to understand. It's abnormal alignment of a joint and or abnormal movement of a joint, or most commonly, both. These two things typically cause, like pieces in your car, moving parts, friction, wear and tear over time. Over a day, no big deal. A week, not a big deal. We're talking about months, years, a decade or two. Friction, wear and tear on moving parts, that's what causes joints to wear away, discs, bones, etc. That's the real true cause of arthritis, is abnormal joint stress. So as a chiropractor, what we do is we look at the spine, maybe other joints as well, but most importantly the spine, and look for things that aren't moving, things that are stuck, or things that have shifted, or both. And then what we typically do is correct that, change that, improve that. That takes the abnormal stress out of the joint. That reduces the biomechanical stress that causes and drives arthritic conditions. So if you don't want arthritis, you have your spine and your joints assessed by somebody like a chiropractor. If you have it and you want to reduce it or minimize it or take better care of it, again, the same rules apply. Reduce the stress, reduce the condition. Focus on the cause instead of just treating the symptoms with medication. Makes sense, right? So now, hopefully watching this video, we've turned your no to a yes, and you now know how to avoid it, prevent it, or reduce it. Get you and your family, even your kids, especially before we have arthritis, involved in a good wellness-based chiropractic office, because they can do things for you and teach you things that nobody else can. Thanks for watching this video. Please share it with people you care about.